Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services, a premier institution for preparing for civil services in India. Since the UPSC Prelims 2024 is very near, I hope all of you are preparing well for your exam. And since the UPSC 2023 final results are also out, all of you must be motivated to see the results of the toppers and the success stories of the toppers. And I suggest you to keep the motivation consistent and keep your motivation till the UPSC cycle completes. And having said that, today I am here for the important current affairs that was not covered last week, since I could not record the daily news and editorial analysis from the studio last week. Because currently I am out of station, and for this reason I could not cover the daily news and editorial analysis from the studio. From the Tuesday onwards, I'll be recording the daily news and editorial analysis from the studio. So pardon me for that and bear with me till Tuesday. So having said that, today I have brought three important current affairs from the last week, and these three current affairs are going to be very important for the UPSC and all the state PCS or any other government exams in India. Because in the current affairs, I not only analyze the current affairs, but also I analyze the important GK facts or all the important general studies facts which are relevant for the syllabus of UPSC, OPSC, WBCS and all the government exams in India. So bear with me till the video ends and like and share this video as much as you can. So having said that, let us begin the analysis. The first topic of analysis for today is the earthquake that recently hit the Taiwan. So recently a massive earthquake hits Taiwan. So you can see the newspaper cutting here. And this topic was covered in the Indian Express explained section. And the syllabus in UPSC that this topic caters to is GS paper 1. And under GS paper 1, this topic caters to the syllabus. Physical geography, important geophysical phenomena, earthquakes, volcanoes, etc. So in this topic, we are going to discuss about the details of the news. So what was the reason behind the earthquake that hit the Taiwan? We'll understand the causes. We'll understand about the ring of fire, why the ring of fire is most prone to earthquakes and the tsunamis. We'll understand about that as well. Then we'll understand about the plate boundaries. Okay? So plate boundaries are very important phenomena, or the plate tectonics are very important for the geography in UPSC. So we'll cover that part as well. And lastly, we'll cover the PYQ from this topic. So let us begin the analysis. The first news of analysis for today is about the Taiwan earthquake. So recently Taiwan was hit by the 7.4 Richter scale earthquake. So 7.4 was the magnitude of the earthquake in Richter scale that hit Taiwan. And this earthquake is considered the biggest earthquake in last 25 years. So this is an important point. And 9 people died and more than 1,000 people were injured in this earthquake. And Japan also issued the tsunami alert for the Ryukyu chain of islands. So for this reason, Ryukyu chain of islands is in news. So this term becomes the term for the places in news in UPSC. So Ryukyu chain of islands is located between the China and the Taiwan. So this is the Ryukyu chain of islands, and this is the East China Sea. Okay, so this is East China Sea, and here there is South China Sea. Okay, so South China Sea is located in this southwest part of Taiwan. And in the exam you might be asked that the Ryukyu island is located between which countries. So आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि Ryukyu island is located between Japan and Taiwan and between East China Sea and in Pacific Ocean. So Ryukyu chain of island में एक important island है. The name of the island is Okinawa Island. So Okinawa Island is located somewhere here. So this island is important because this has been a home of US military bases since the World War II and the Cold War. So there are many military bases of the US and the other European powers in this island. So for this reason, you have to know this, that the Okinawa Island is located in the Ryukyu chain of islands. So these are all important facts about the context of the news and the details of the news. And talking about the causes of the earthquakes in Taiwan. So Taiwan is an earthquake prone region because it is located in Ring of Fire. We'll understand about the Ring of Fire as well. And the Ring of Fire is the place which is located in the Pacific Ocean, and this constitute for about the 90% of the world's earthquakes. So the Ring of Fire is a line of the seismic faults which encircles the Pacific Ocean. So this is the Ring of Fire, and the Ring of Fire is particularly vulnerable to the tremblers due to the tension accumulated from the interactions of two tectonic plates, which are the Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate. So the Taiwan is particularly vulnerable to the earthquakes because Taiwan is located between the two plates, which is the Philippine plate and between the Pacific plate. So the Pacific plate and the Philippine plates collide here, and for this reason there are tremors, and that tremor causes the earthquake in the region. So this is the ring of fire. So this is entire region of the ring of fire, and you can see the ring of fire is around the Pacific Ocean, and the ring of fire is made of multiple plates. So there are huge number of plates which are located in the ring of fire, and there is collision of many major plates and minor plates in ring of fire, and these are the minor plates. So Juan de Fuca, Cocos plate, Nazca plate, these are all minor plates. So minor plates basically are colliding with the major plates such as Pacific plate, the Eurasian plates, etc., and the Australian plate or Indo-Australian plates, etc. So there are many collision of the plates. When these plates collide, there is formation of the plate boundaries. So basically the plate tectonic theory is involved in this process. So you can see this ring of fire, and there are many trenches which are located here. So trenches are the deep places around the ocean. So Mariana Trench is this. So this Mariana Trench is the deepest trench in the world, and there is also Challenger Deep here. And these deeps are formed because of the collision of two plates. When two plates collide, one is lighter, another one is bigger. So this is lighter, let's say, and this is bigger or heavier. When the lighter plate collides with the heavier plate or bigger plate, the lighter plate subducts into another plate. Okay, so in this zone of subduction there is formation of the deep. So these trenches are basically formed at the collision of the Pacific plate and the Eurasian plate and Indo-Australian plate. Okay, so you have to know these points. So these are the places where the ring of fire are located, and there are Kurli Trench here, Japan Trench. So these all trenches are located in the ring of fire. And what is ring of fire? Ring of fire is essentially a string of hundreds of volcanoes and earthquake sites which runs along the Pacific Ocean, and it is a semicircle or horseshoe shape structure. And ring of fire traces meeting points of numerous tectonic plates. So there are numerous tectonic plates which are located in ring of fire. For instance, the Eurasian plates, North American plates, Juan de Fuca plates, plate, the Cocos plate, the Caribbean plate, Nazca, Antarctic plate, Indian plate, the Australian plate, the Philippine plate, and other smaller plates are located in this ring of fire. So you have to know these plates where they are located, and it runs across the 15 more countries. So the countries are the USA, Indonesia, Mexico, Japan, Canada, Guatemala, Russia, Chile, Peru, and Philippines. So these are all countries which are touched by the ring of fire, and 75% of the Earth's volcanoes are located in the ring of fire. So these are data and facts are important. So 90% of the Earth's earthquakes are located here, and 75% of the volcanoes are located here. So the reason for the location of volcanic region and earthquake region is the location of the plate boundaries. So we'll also understand about the plate tectonics in the later part of the video. So these are all important facts about the ring of fire. Now, why is there large number of volcanoes in ring of fire? The reason is that there is large number of overlap of convergent boundaries in the ring of fire called the subduction zones. So we discussed about the subduction zones as well. So when two plates collide, there is formation of the subduction zones, and these are types of plate boundaries. So there are basically three types of plate boundaries. So divergent, convergent, and transform plate boundaries are three types of plate boundaries. So divergent plate boundaries are formed when two plates move away from each other. Okay, so when two plates move away from each other, there is formation of the plate boundaries, and from the middle part there is extrusion of the volcanoes. Okay, lava will emerge from here, or magma will emerge from here, and these emergent lava or magma will deposit like this in the parallel fashion, and these parallel magmas will ultimately form the oceanic ridge. So ocean ridges are basically formed by the divergent plate boundaries. So you can see here the plates are moving away from each other, and there is formation of the oceanic ridge. So oceanic ridges are basically the mountains in the oceans, okay, and they are formed by the divergent plates. So you have to know these points. And convergent plates basically forms the trenches. So you can see here So this is the oceanic plate, and oceanic plate are softer. So when soft plates collide with the hard continental plate, there will be formation of trenches here. So here is trench. So trenches will be formed by the convergent plate boundaries. And there is third type of plate boundary, which is called the transform plate boundary. So transform plate boundary is basically the plate boundary which is found when two plates slide into one another. So when two plates slide into one another, there will be formation of the transform plate boundary. Okay. So you have to know these points. So these are three types of plate boundaries which are located around the world, and world's highest number of earthquakes and volcanoes are located around the plate boundaries. So you have to know these points. UPC in 2013 asked a question from the physical geography, and the question was the electromagnetic radiation, geothermal energy, gravitational force, plate movements, rotation of the earth, revolution of the earth. So which of the above are responsible for bringing dynamic changes on the surface of the earth? So dynamic changes means, for instance, the earthquake, which causes the movement of the materials in the earth. So which of these phenomena causes the dynamic changes on the earth? So comment the answer of this question in the comment section. So this type of question is asked in UPSC. So this is an analytical question. And in UPSC in 2014, a question was asked in mains. The question was, why are the world's fold mountain systems are located along the margins of the continents? So we discussed that at the margins of the continents there are formation of the mountains. So when two plates collide, one plate will be raised and another plate will be subducted. So these raised plates basically leads to formation of the mountains. So mountains will be formed here at the raised continents or plates. Okay. So for this reason there will be formation of mountains. For instance, the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate to form the Himalayas. So you can quote these type of examples in your answer. You can also draw the map of India and the Eurasian plate colliding. So you can answer this type of question in that way and bring out the association between the global distribution of fold mountains and earthquakes and volcanoes. And the question also asked that the global distribution of fold mountains and earthquakes and volcanoes. So how the fold mountains and earthquakes and volcanoes are distributed. So you have to answer that. So we just saw that in the Ring of Fire region there is huge number of earthquakes and volcanoes. So you can quote them and you can also draw the map. And there are also volcanic regions around the world. For instance, there are huge number of volcanic regions in the Mediterranean area. So Mediterranean Sea regions can also be quoted, and you can also quote the volcano which is located in India, that is in the Andaman and Nicobar island region. So you can quote them as well. So this type of question is asked in UPSC. So try answering this question at home. Now moving on to next topic of discussion for today. The next topic of discussion for today is doxing. So doxing is an important term which appeared recently in news in the Hindu, and the topic was, what is doxing and what can you do if it happens to you? So this topic appeared in the Hindu. So since this topic was in news, you have to understand what is doxing. You have to understand the term doxing for the UPSC prelims perspective, and also you need to understand the legal provision for doxing in India. So the doxing is basically publicizing the private details like addresses, phone numbers, medical conditions often obtained illegally. So any publication of the private data including phone numbers or medical conditions are called doxing. Okay. So the even sharing the semi-public content without the consent can constitute the doxing. So you have to know this point. Okay. So sharing of any data can constitute a doxing, and victims may face physical, digital or emotional threats requiring them to secure various aspects of their life such as finances, employment and physical safety. So any kind of threat can be posed to the victims due to doxing. So you have to know these facts. So these are all important facts about doxing, and Indian law does not provide any term called doxing in the legal framework. But you have to understand that the doxing is indirectly mentioned in various laws in India. For instance, the Information Technology Act of 2000 contains the law related to doxing, and the act addresses the various cyber crimes including the hacking, identity theft, the unauthorized disclosure of the public information, etc. So the section 43, section 66, section 72, etc. provides for the doxing. So although directly doxing has not been mentioned, but doxing is provided indirectly in this act. And similarly, the Indian Penal Code also provides for the terms like stalking, the word, gesture, act intended to insult modesty of women, etc. So these are all the terms which indirectly directs towards doxing. And The POCSO Act, which is the Protection of Child from Sexual Offences Act of 2012, also contains provision for online harassment and cyberbullying of the children. So this also indirectly points towards doxing. And there is also the right to privacy, which is contained in the Article 21 of the Constitution of India. So Article 21 basically provides for the right to privacy. Although India does not have the right to privacy law, but this article protects the right to privacy of the people. So these are all provisions related to doxing in India. So you have to know these facts and you have to quote these laws which provides for doxing indirectly in your answer in UPSC mains answer writing. So this was the second topic of discussion for today, and the last topic of discussion for today is the bridge fuel. So bridge fuel was in news recently, and the news is the natural gas actually cleaner than coal appeared in The Hindu. And this topic basically talks about the fact that whether the natural gas is really alternative to coal or not. Okay. So bridge fuel is basically the natural gas. So we are talking about the natural gas. So natural gas is called the bridge fuel because it acts as a transition fuel between the coal and oil and the cleaner fuel. Okay. So this acts as a bridge between the greener fuel and the fossil fuel based fuels. And the goal of using the bridge fuel is to reduce the bulk of today's fossil fuel dependent energy sources. So we are trying to use the bridge fuel to reduce the dependency on the fossil fuels, since the natural gas has lesser climate impact than the coal because it emits 50% less carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So release of carbon dioxide into atmosphere from the natural gas is lesser than the coal. For this reason, natural gas is considered an alternative to the coal. So for this reason, natural gas is important. So this is all about natural gas, but the question is natural gas actually cleaner than coal? So the answer is yes and no, because the primary component of the natural gas is methane, which comprises of 70 to 90% of its composition, and the methane is a second most abundant greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide. So since the methane is the greenhouse gas, for this reason the natural gas is also a greenhouse gas emitter. So for this reason we cannot say that the natural gas is actually cleaner than the coals. Okay. So about the natural gas is a fossil fuel. Like all fossil fuels, it is a non-renewable resource. So natural gas is basically produced from the non-renewable energy, and it is a mixture of gases which are rich in hydrocarbons, and it is a colorless and odorless gas composed of 70 to 90% of methane. Okay. Natural gas is basically consisted of the methane, and the proportion of methane is 70 to 90%. Okay. And there also contains the ethane, propane, etc. And there are also other impurities such as the carbon dioxide, the hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen, etc. So these are all important facts about the natural gas and bridge fuel, and this was also the last topic of discussion for today. And today as well, I have got an important quote of the day for you, and the quote is, "You do not have to hold a position in order to be a leader." So this quote is very relevant for all of you, because to know that your work proves the leadership, not the position. So it is not about the position, but your work that shows your leadership. So to be a leader, you need not hold a position. So this was the quote of the day for you. So with that quote, I'm concluding today's session. We'll meet again in the next video. Till then, take care.